Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of NoDQ&A video in 2016. Thank you all for supporting NoDQ&A video during the year 2015. Let's kick off things on a high note with this edition of NoDQ&A video. Got your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift. First one today, first question of 2016 for NoDQ&A video comes from Carl. Hey Aaron, I know it doesn't look like it since he lost in quick fashion tonight. He's talking about Raw, of course. But is Kevin Owens' Rampage a sign he could still face Brock Lesnar? I would be surprised because I think if WWE was grooming Kevin Owens for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, Kevin Owens would not be losing, period. I don't care if it's a 15-minute or 15-second, whatever, fluke finish where he loses to Neville and then gets his heat back after the match and beats the crap out of the guy. Doesn't matter. If it was me, I would not have Kevin Owens lose to anybody under any circumstances, and the guys outside definitely agree with me on that. I think that Kevin Owens should be booked like a monster, an absolute monster, where he goes on a total rampage, never losing, if he was to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Now, perhaps WWE has not made a final decision on Brock Lesnar's opponent for WrestleMania, but if they do decide to go with Kevin Owens, one would think he would never lose and would be as dominant as possible. You would really need to build up Kevin Owens in a big way for him to be a credible challenger to Brock Lesnar, in my opinion. So right now, I would say it's very unlikely, but anything can happen. Who knows what's going to happen at WrestleMania, who Brock Lesnar's opponent's going to be, and they're still 3 or 4 months away until WrestleMania. WWE still has time to build up Brock Lesnar's opponent, whether it's Kevin Owens or somebody else. Alright, this one comes from King Clemens 28. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. How would you book a Seth Rollins return, and do you see him feuding with Triple H or Roman Reigns? I think it's obvious Seth Rollins will come back as a babyface because the fans are going to be missing him, and when he comes back, he's almost guaranteed to get a major reaction. A lot of people will be comparing his comeback to Triple H's comeback from early 2002 when he returned on Raw, and then that Royal Rumble pay-per-view where he won. I could see something similar happening with Seth Rollins, WWE doing the video packages, hyping up his return. Everyone's going to be cheering the guy when he makes his comeback. It's just a no-brainer for him to come back as a babyface and challenge Triple H. I think the logical storyline would be for Triple H to have his new top guy replacing Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins comes back, gets revenge on Triple H, and goes after Triple H's new guy. Will that be Roman Reigns? I have my doubts. But if Roman Reigns does in fact turn heel at some point and joins the Authority or whatever, if he turns heel, period, I'm getting rid of this beard because I'm protesting right now the fact that WWE does not have a dominant top heel. Roman Reigns could be that guy. But I'm getting off topic here. The only way I see Seth Rollins feuding with Roman Reigns is if Reigns goes heel. Otherwise, I think Seth Rollins will come back and probably feud with Triple H and whoever Triple H's top henchman is. Alright, this one comes from Marcus. 2 months ago, Sasha Banks was very popular. Now she's getting boring chants. Do you think the WWE has killed Sasha Banks? I would not say WWE killed Sasha Banks. If anybody killed Sasha Banks, it's ironically enough the Brooklyn fans, the same city, the same crowd almost, that went crazy at the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn pay-per-view, and they were solidly behind Sasha Banks at that pay-per-view, and her and Bayley had the match of the year voted by NoDQ.com visitors. The fact that those fans, those same fans for the most part, would come back and chant boring, I found that to be very interesting. Now, I will say this. I felt that the Sasha Banks-Becky Lynch match was not one of Sasha's better matches, and same for Becky Lynch. I thought it was okay. I thought it was far from a great match, and perhaps the fans were just getting restless. You know, it's a 3-hour Raw. They get tired. I just feel it was the wrong match to chant boring for, and it's going to it's going to send signals to people in WWE that this Divas Revolution isn't really worth investing in. If you're going to chant boring at any match, chant it for Big Show. Chant it for Mark Henry. Chant it for Kane. By chanting it for Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, you're just being counterproductive. If you want to see these younger divas and younger talent get pushed, chanting boring during their matches is the last thing you want to do. So that's just my take on it. Was the match boring? I mean, I did not find it particularly exciting, but at the same time, it's not a good idea if you want these people to get pushed in the future. Alright, this next question comes from Isaac Rawman, the TNA General on NoDQForums.com. Would you want to see the return of the artist formerly known as Goldust? I bet that would push the envelope. As much as I would like to see Goldust go back to that character, it's not going to happen in today's era, unfortunately. I felt that the artist formerly known as Goldust was my personal favorite segment of Dustin Rhodes' career. I felt that character was very entertaining, very controversial, but there's just no way that stuff would go over in today's WWE. WWE would not allow that under any circumstances, and if Goldust did anything even remotely controversial, WWE would get the negative publicity and the fans would say this is out of line and it's going too far and all that stuff. It's just not going to happen in today's world, unfortunately. But at the time, I loved the character. I thought it was tremendous. Alright, this one comes from Cam Ran. Does Cody Rhodes have a future in WWE? He's been around for so long, tried many gimmicks, but is still low/Dark Carter. Please answer in video. He does have a future in WWE, but that future is probably going to be what he's been doing for the better part of the past year or two as the Stardust character. I really don't see him getting pushed further up the card than what he's been at. Perhaps at some point he'll go back to being Cody Rhodes, but he seems to enjoy doing the Stardust character and going out there and doing his thing. And at least for him, he's getting TV time, he's wrestling, he's making money. So what else can you ask for? You know, he's living the dream. He's living the American dream in honor of his father. So there you go. All right, this one comes from Darren Holding. What do you think of Dean Ambrose winning the Rumble and doing a jealous storyline heel Dean versus babyface Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title? Please answer in video. I think it would be a great idea. It would be a logical idea because WWE's been teasing friction all this time. I'm not even sure if they've been teasing friction. It seems like the fact that WWE's been making such a big deal out of Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns being best friends, that always seems to lead to something where there's some sort of split. When things are too good, something bad is bound to happen, but nothing has happened up to this point. And I hate to say it, but I do not see Dean Ambrose in WrestleMania main events anytime soon, unfortunately. I would love to see it. I'd love to see Dean Ambrose go heel. It should have happened at Survivor Series. That was the perfect time, in my opinion, to pull the trigger on a Dean Ambrose heel turn. He's jealous, and he becomes the new Triple H henchman. He becomes the new face of the company, or the new heel of the company, aligned with Triple H, taking Seth Rollins' spot, and then Seth Rollins could come back and feud with Dean Ambrose. To me, that would have made a lot of sense, but I do not see Dean Ambrose in the main event plans going into WrestleMania. He'll probably be in one of the multi-man matches, whether they have a ladder match or Andre the Giant Battle Royal, something like that. You know, I don't see him having a big singles match at the pay-per-view. Him versus Reigns, I think it would be great for WrestleMania, but I feel it's too late now. It's too late to go in that direction. And I doubt WWE will do that match at WrestleMania. I would be very surprised. All right, this one comes from Dardar222. Hey Aaron, do you think that the super kick is the most overused move right now in WWE? Please answer in video if you can. I would say on the indies it might be, when you look at the Young Bucks using the super kick all the time. But yeah, people in WWE from Del Rio to Dolph Ziggler, all these guys doing the super kick now. When Shawn Michaels did it, it was special. And now it's just another move. So I would agree with that statement that the super kick is definitely one of the most, if not the most, overused move in wrestling. You know, I would say the powerbomb as well, though Kevin Owens with the pop-up powerbomb is a nice little variation from the normal powerbomb, but so many guys have been using the powerbomb as a finishing move that it's no longer anything all that special. But that was more in the 90s when you had Vader using it and Sid using it and Kevin Nash using it, all these people using the powerbomb, and that got very overused. But yeah, in today's WWE, I would say the super kick is the most overused move. All right, this one comes from Joey. Love the show. Do you think that there will ever be another WrestleMania like WrestleMania 2 with multiple locations at once? Keep up the good work. I'm surprised WWE hasn't tried to do this yet, because with WrestleMania 2, it was an interesting concept. I liked the idea of doing that. The problem was back then they did not have the proper technology to do it efficiently, and the whole thing was a big mess from a technical standpoint. Today, I think that they could pull it off much better than back in 1986, and they could do part of it at Staples Center, they could do part of it at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, and then they could do the other part at MSG or Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That would be awesome, and you could, you know, WWE could charge the high ticket prices, and they could probably make a lot of money, and you know, their total attendance from the three venues would be in the 60,000 range, and with the high ticket prices, that could be very profitable, almost as profitable as doing the stadium show. Maybe one day WWE would take that risk and do it. It's interesting. I think they would easily sell out all three arenas and probably get huge gates for all three shows. So that would be an interesting experiment to try. 3 split shows. You'd have to split up the roster into 3 parts. But yeah, I would be up for WWE trying that sometime. It would definitely be interesting and a change of pace from the norm. Alright, that'll wrap it up for the first NoDQ&A video of 2016. Keep your questions coming in, twitter.com/AaronRift. If you're frustrated that I haven't answered one of your questions yet, just please keep trying. Try to come up with unique questions that I haven't answered before. That will increase your chances. Try not to send me like 10 questions. I know some of you out there are tempted to do that. Try to come up with 1 or 2 really unique, interesting questions. And you can challenge me. You can call me out on my opinions. You know, let's start up a debate about certain topics. Keep your questions coming in, and I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video. I did it again.